Sensible shaft drive design, easy, safe decks, long range capability, and the possibility to go fast if you want. Ladies and gents, this is the Alaska 47 Sedan. I think if you're focused on a really serious, potentially liveaboard cruising yacht that can also be utilized solo and great for day boating if you wish, then focus your attention on this boat because she's really sensible. Anyone who's come from a sailing yacht or had many powerboats in their past is going to understand, well, I hope you will, jump in the comments if you do, what I'm talking about, because this is a boat for boaters and it really is a comfortable platform to enjoy a good amount of time on board, and some of that is just inherently due to the design. She's got a good amount of displacement, she's got a low center of gravity, and she's got a no-nonsense layout. So I've been driving this boat all day. We're in a beautiful location. Welcome to Tangalooma, Queensland, Australia. It's wonderful. This is winter, by the way. This is winter in Australia. But a boat like this doesn't exhaust you. It leaves you quite relaxed and happy to do some more boating. It's also a boat that you can absolutely take off the dock by yourself, go and fuel it up by yourself, or just go out for the day by yourself. Due to many of the design elements, there goes the ferry. By the way, this is a highway. This is a local highway. It's such a cool, unique, I hope a lot of my American viewers are going to enjoy this. There's some really cool 4x4 rigs in the background. Anyway, let's not get distracted. We're here to talk about the boat. So yeah, this doesn't leave you exhausted, and it allows you to enjoy your time on the boat. So if that's you, keep watching. And if you want to see how she performs, we're going to be doing that in the next video. Come along, you're very welcome. We'll start out here on the back of the boat. This one has got the hydraulic drop-down swim platform. You don't have to have this. You can actually option it with the standard platform we see here or an extended fixed platform. Reason being, it has a massive roof. You can option this boat with a crane on the roof, and you can put multiple boats and toys up there. There's a huge amount of space up the top. We'll be going there later in the video. So for those of you who have kids who go sailing or like to sail, you may desire or wish to keep a couple of sailboats or fun toys up on the roof and still have a tender out the back here. Or you might do a super serious tender, an aluminium job, and just keep it up on the roof, not a problem, and then utilize this part of the boat purely for entertaining. But as you can see, this particular boat, we've got the barbecue station out here, we've got the fish cutting board, the rod holders. This is an electric barbecue, runs off the genset, the plug-in is just there. We have the optional bar. You don't have to have this. You could put this boat or this brand in more of a semi-custom category. So there's a lot of things you can work with the builder on. So if you want to have this open, it is possible. We've got hot and cold storage. We've also got freshwater washdown for the decks just here. We've got our aft cleats, big good stainless, and some rope protectors. And we also have courtesy lights dotted around. You see this particular boat has got the mesh. You can also do the clears. We've done the mesh and we've zipped up the center section. That's great for the hot sun in this country. And we're on teak here, and it ends as we go forward. But come in and just get a load of the space. It's quite beamy, and you really do notice the weight. It's not a boat that wants to rock around, although you can option it with a gyro should you desire. But this is the vibe you have back here. I like having this corner space. We're totally protected under this roof, and this whole area, it's actually a hose down design. So this is just a cool design into the roof, but it's actually fiberglass. You can close all these doors and hose the area down at the end of the day should you wish. You don't have to have this L-shaped lounge here. You can actually have a center seat and then a walk-through access if that's what you desire. However, I'll just point out, you can still get on and off. If you've got a tender on the back of the boat, you can still board on starboard and port. So if that's what you're thinking about, it's actually not necessary. And so you may just see more value in having the extra seating there. You also have this nice little seat here, which is cute, great views, looking forward. And just come and have a look at this. This is great. You'll see this on a lot of big boats. I love having these Perspex wind doors just here, so you can close that up And then, depending on what part of the world you're in, if you have the clears or if you have the mesh, you can sort of lock it all down, and depending what system you have, you can actually air condition or heat this area, because all of the heated air is going to come out from here and turn this into a bit of an al fresco or extra usable space. So this table's huge. Lots of people can sit around here. We can actually do some director's chairs. We are over the lazarette storage area. It's massive, which is just below us. We'll get back to that later in the video. But getting into the lazarette, this allows you easier access, because this just opens like so, and then the table is not in your way. You can also option a few different tables of drink holders and grab holds as well, so you do you. We have storage underneath that seat there. We have drawers and also storage, another drawer and another lift up hatch just there underneath the seat, so that's all suitably set up should you need. Got beautiful Corian. We have an ice maker and one fridge on the starboard side. Also more power, that's 240 or it could be 110 depending on what part of the world you're in. And engine access is in here. We'll do that later in the video. But we do have really good access everywhere. I'm just going to point out the wing station. So we got shaft drives, Cummins, we got bow and stern thruster and horn control from here, and that just folds away and boom, boom, like so. And then we actually, I'll just point out, we'll go up this side and then we'll go into the saloon. On both sides, you've got opening gates. This has got to be one of the easiest, most no-nonsense boats to move around and board on and off, because your distance from the dock is such that you don't need a step from here. It's very easy to get down. You have an opening door on both sides. We also have, we've got 2 fuel tanks and 2 water tanks. However, they're all connected. So water in is here, diesel in is here, and waste out is here. And this is repeated on the other side. So you can actually just pull in on port or starboard, and then you've got the door right here. Notice that we have 1, 2, and a 3rd cleat. So we've got bow and stern cleats and then 3 more in the middle. So you are not struggling whatsoever. You can step off easily. At the back of the boat, just here, you can control it with your hand, and you've always got somewhere to attach a line. It's a very simple boat to pull up to the dock. I've done it myself already this morning. That's why I'm saying this. So that's great. You've got engine ventilation just going in here. So that's really good actually, because we've tested that today. And in terms of stairs and moving around the boat, you have 2 stairs here and 3 to go downstairs. That's it. So you have no more than 3 stairs, and the rest of the boat is basically all on the same level. So it's a very easy boat to move around. But now I'd just like you to appreciate this fit out. It's real boaty. It's really yachty. It's lovely. So lots of solid timbers, solid timber veneers right throughout the boat. This is the cherry finish. You can do a satin and some other options if you wish, although a lot of the upholstery and the carpets are done in Australia. So you just work with the factory and fit it out as to your needs or desires. But this table here is also emergency sleeping or extra sleeping. So you can see it's on a lift up, and we can also reduce the table size. But a couple of sensible design pieces I saw just underneath. See here? That just folds out. So that's stainless steel support. When the table is down, there's a couple more just dotted up there. So you literally just lower it down, flip those supports out there, put the cushion on top, and it's a double bed when you need it to be. Also, pay attention, we got the 240 power at our feet. So when you're using this in work from boat office instead of home office mode, you can set up your laptops just here and be plugged in. We've got drawers underneath here. We've got the subwoofer as well, so you don't need to actually lift up the seats to access any of the storage because you have the drawers already. The blinds are these ones. So there's these concertina ones, so they will let light in, and then they'll also completely knock it out should you wish. We've got some magazine racks. We have the air conditioning controls just here. We've got air conditioning vents, 1, 2, a 3 and a couple more forward, and we've got this full length galley. And just pay attention to the amount of space we have. So anyone working at the galley, anywhere from forward to aft, has got more than enough space for multiple people to pass through. And running down the center line, we have this grab handle just here. So you can hold onto the galley, you can hold onto the table, you got your grab handle just here, and we've got rounded curves everywhere. There's no super sharp corners that someone's gonna injure themselves. So this is a very, very safe design if you are gonna be bashing around in a seaway, which I would absolutely say you can on this style of boat. She's moderate displacement, she's got a bit of weight behind her, she's got a really nice underwater profile, and she will bash through some big seas and keep you safe and comfortable if that's what you need to do. Storage all the way up here. I'm not going to go opening all these. This is a privately owned boat. Just thank you to the owner for letting us use the boat today, but I don't want to open all your cupboards and show everyone your stuff. But I do want you to pay attention to the refrigeration. This is proper Aussie style refrigeration. So we've got the ice maker out back, the other fridge out back, 1, 2 big fridges here. We've got the dishwasher, microwave, and another fridge just here. So we're not wanting for refrigeration, which is great. This is actually drinks bottle storage in here. So this will open up, that'll swing out, and you do drinks bottles, deep storage, deep drawers, big sink, hot and cold, multiple charging points with the USB as well as the 240. And then we've got the 4-burner Electrolux with the overhead fan sucky thing. And then you can put some of your salt and peppers and whatever you need to do just there. And then more drawers. These are quite deep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underneath here. So again, super easy to access. That is a big air conditioning outlet, and it will also face forward, so it'll face aft and forward if you want to blow cool air on your back. However, you've also got cool air blowing from these 2 vents, and natural ventilation from obviously this big door and that big door on the port side, which I suspect many of you who've had multiple boats before or come from sailing are going to appreciate this design, because this allows you to run this boat solo if you need, because it's just that kind of design. Before I get there, you've got the overhead hatch, and you can option it with a second one on port if you wish. I suspect some people aren't going to go for that because they want to store extra toys up there, because you'll see when we get on the roof we've got an immense amount of space, but that is possible if you want it. This is good to see. It's just access into the windscreen wiper motors, 1, 2, 3. We've got down lights, we've got our fusion control, we've got our VHF up above, and then we've got chart storage in shallow, 1, 2, 3 hatches here, and huge amount of space where you can literally just lay out your charts. But your day will actually start here. It's super simple. Genset battery, port start, starboard start, house battery, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got your inverter, bow and stern thruster batteries. This is your emergency parallel. All of this is your 24 volt system, because we're a 24 volt boat, and then our 240 is going to be here, and our inverter systems are going to be here. This is ship to shore, and then you've got some more breakers in there. Everything's in English. It's all super simple to understand, no nonsense. We got minimal reflections from this leather finish all around the dash. And also it's worth noting, when you are driving this boat, even though this boat will cruise very happily and fuel efficiently, super fuel efficiently at 8 knots to 12 knots, she'll do 19. She'll probably do 21. This is a heavily loaded boat with fuel and the owner's equipment. So we saw about 20 knots today when she was well trimmed out. And I would suspect you might get maybe another knot or 2 if you were in light ship mode. So what that means is you can run this boat up to 16, 17 knots efficiently if you want to get away from a storm, or if you just want to go faster. But what it doesn't do, what many boats in this sort of design or style, when you run them up to speed, they sort of hang their butt a little bit and you lose visibility from the helm. I noticed that. I'm not a tall guy, I'm 5'7", and so some of those boats I can't actually see over the bow, whereas on this boat, even at those higher speeds and right the way through the rev range getting up there, I've got clear viz straight over the bow, and I've got blue water all around. So it's super safe, and from my perspective, it keeps the driving experience quite relaxed. So throttle controls here, anchor controls just there, bilge, depth and speed. We've got wind, charger, Raymarine autopilot, dual engine systems here, and on port we have a rudder angle indicator, engine diagnostics, trim tabs, which you will use because they're useful at the higher speeds, and then we've got horn and our bilge pumps. That's our holding tank indicator, spotlight, wiper controls, generator operation, and this is a multifunctional Raymarine touchscreen chart plotter, and even the compass mounted on a beautiful piece of cherry wood, which looks nice. Beautiful big, it's kind of like a yacht wheel. Many of you are sailors, you'll be familiar with this. Quite a few turns from full lock to the other side, so you've got to get used to that, but it's perfectly logical. This particular boat had these single captain's chairs installed. Very, very nice. You do you. You can also have a bench seat here if you wish. It's really up to the owner. And we have storage under the helm, which is good for you know, extra safety gear, emergency grab bags, that sort of thing. But super comfortable. And you can, if you choose, you can option this up with footrests here and there. This particular owner didn't want to do that because he's quite happy driving the boat like that, and I'll probably do the same. So that's cool, but you've got a grab handle just there if you want to maneuver yourself out of the seat. And okay, that's how much headroom you got. Plenty of room, and stepping out of this door, that's quite a natural handle to hold on to. And then you've got the grab rail forward and aft, so it's quite natural. It's very, very safe. It's just not a boat that wants to rock around, so I don't really see any safety issues there whatsoever. I think we should go around now and have a look at the foredeck, and then we'll have a squiz up at the roof. So these are actually sunken barges just on our starboard side here. They created a bit of an artificial break wall. Somebody needs to get onto the council and sink some more though, because you can see they're all starting to fade away. So if anyone's connected to the council, get onto them please and tell them we need to go sink some more ships or some barges or something, because this is a beautiful place and it's a great anchorage. So I'd hate to see us lose that protection. Anyway, no nonsense decks. So we've got good grip underfoot. It is a foam cord deck, and we also have foam cord bulkheads and roof, and then it's a hand-laid fiberglass hull. You can feel it, it's solid, it's weighty as you move around. There's nothing moving or flexing, but also just pay attention. I know a lot of you Americans in the comments are going to like this. It's a no-nonsense layout. It really is a hose-down situation at the end of the day. It's not getting too precious with teak everywhere, although I'm sure if you wanted to do the teak, they could do that for you. So we have, let me just open this one. We've got, boom, come in and have a look. Chain locker, stainless steel chain on this one, and you may notice that we've got space for multiple rollers. So yes, you can set it up with extra rollers for chain, pulling up moorings, or even second anchors if you wish. This area is dammed and drained, so you can hose it out if it's coming up muddy, and then we can also control it with the foot pedals. That is your freshwater connection in there. And in this one, why couldn't I do that properly? Okay, we've actually got more storage, perfect for fenders on this side. So if you were storing or using a boat like this in Europe, that's probably where you'd put some of your extra fenders. Good stainless steel hatches down below. We'll see that in a second. Lovely big sunrest or sunshade, sun lounging, whatever you... Losing my words. Sun lounge, that's what it is. But this ladder doesn't live here. It doesn't have to live here. It actually has its own space up on the roof. But come up with me and you got to check this out, because it's absolutely massive. For those of you asking, this radar mast will fold down. This is the manual one. So you've just got the pin to remove, and then it'd be a two-man job to fold this down. I'd probably put a towel or something down. However, you can order it with like a hydraulic actuator to do it essentially automatically. But let me just pace this out for you. So just imagine, because it's so stable, you can easily stay up here, do the run and jump thing, because the overhang of the roof is actually the same beam of the boat. So when you're exiting from the helm and making your way aft, you're under the roof the whole time. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus meters. Let me just start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It feels like 4 to 5 meters beam on the roof and 8 meters length. So you can have a dance party up here, but more importantly, utilizing these rails here and here, I can see multiple stand-up paddle boards, sailboats, aluminium tenders along the center line. Like if you're a serious fisho and you want to go exploring, that's perfect, because you can option a crane up here. Obviously, all your navigational equipment on the radar mast, and this is our spotlight just here, protected with the stainless. And if you did have that hatch, it would be in this location. So obviously stowing of the anchor would be off to one side, navigation lights on either side. We'll go back down. We'll go through the other side. Can you see that car? So it's literally a sand highway. How cool is that? So we'll go down this way, coming down the port side. So you just 1, 2 stairs, and just see how the overhang of the roof. So when you do exit from here aft, if it's bucketing with rain, you're actually not in the rain. You're protected the whole way. So I like that design. And also I like having this cleat here and another cleat close to the opening side like we saw before. So come on down. This accommodation is great. So you literally have 3 stairs. That's it. That's the most amount of stairs. This is the master in here when it's closed up, but you just slide these 2 pocket doors, and now get a feel for this, because it actually feels like a full beam master with those pocket doors open, because you've got these ports. This is a big opening port here, but this one opens too, and this one opens as well. That's fixed. Same on the starboard side. So with those pocket doors open, it feels like a full beam. I think that's a good, sensible use of the available space. We actually have storage underneath the bed. It's on gas struts, so we've got extra bits and pieces can go underneath there. We've got bedside tables on either side, beautifully finished bed head. You can't sit up in bed. That is the sacrifice for having the 3 stairs and making it easier to move around. So if you want to sit up, go and do that in the saloon. But this is nicely finished. We've got access behind the helm there. We've got storage hanging on this one, ladies. I always forget the name of these. Ladies makeup area. If you know, just remind me, jump in the comments. I've forgotten that before. Obviously, I don't have a girlfriend. So inside here, we've got the main head with separate shower. So in here, you've got the rain head shower, you've got the adjustable one there, and then this is a glass vanity, electric toilet, storage, good basin bowl thing there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 opening plus natural ventilation here. And it does also have a demister. I saw it on the other head. I'm not sure where it is on that one. TV up here, light switches just up there, but there's more. Underneath the stairs, we actually have a washer dryer. So check that out. In there, so you got storage for extra blankets and things above that, but I would say most of the linen and the towels could actually store in here and here. That makes more sense. You could even fold things as they come out of the washer here and then put them away under there. We've actually got a teak and holly floor underneath my feet, but you can do a carpet that's all made locally, and you just choose what you want with the factory. And then these sides have all got these soft touch, so that's good for sound absorbing as well. It feels quite homey down here. That's why I really do see this as very much liveaboard friendly. But this would be the day head, but it's also the guest head. And they've made a good use of the available space by having this pocket door, or I don't know what the name for this is, but I'm just going to show you. see how it works like this. It's one of these doors. So it doesn't use as much space when it's out of the way. But we've got storage. It is a wet head, so we've got a shower, we've got natural ventilation, and there's the demister, or electric ventilation just there. Storage, and nice little sink basin. And then in the main, or the VIP, I'm just gonna give you some perspective. Look how big this bed is. It's huge. So we actually have two infills. So there's one infill here and another infill here. So you could just have the two singles and then use this as standing space. Or if you want to have the big massive bed, that's totally possible. Behind these mirrors, we actually have more storage. There's more storage tucked in here as well. And we got 1, 2, 3 possibilities for natural ventilation. As you see, I left this on half, so you got sun block out, and you've also just got the fly screen there. And we have the air conditioning. So air conditioning and all of the storage for this cabin is in these drawers. So you just have a look under the bed. Those drawers are all a decent size and depth, so you can put all of your bits and pieces in there, no problems. So from here, I think we need to go and have a look at the lazarette and the engine bay. We'll go straight down to the engine bay because it's quite impressive. Oh, that's heavy. Okay. All right, on the gas strut. Check it out. I love seeing an engine room finished with teak. Pass me the camera and come with me because it's a very nice setup, this one. So we got the Cummins on the straight shaft, just there. We're looking down the center line forward at the moment. I'm going to walk forward and you can see the genset on the port side, the battery boxes on the starboard side. We have 2 fuel tanks, just under 2,500 litres. So that's one tank on starboard. Then you can see our Victrons and battery management on the main bulkhead forward, and that's the other fuel tank on the port side. You can see the filters and the raw water intake. Look at the engine beds just there. That's another angle. Everything's nice and white and bright. Decent amount of headroom, like enough. It is still like a crouch space, but it's not a crawl space. I'll show you me in a second. And then just looking aft, you can see those shafts. Wonder if I can lift that up to show you. There you go. Boom, boom. 4-blade prop. And then these exhausts are directed underwater. Let me just show you my height as well. Boom, boom. So that's me. So kind of like this. So it's not full stand-up headroom. You know, you've got to make a sacrifice if you're going to have a good-looking, sleek and low profile, low center of gravity, but overall that's not too bad. And getting into the storage lazarette, you don't have to lift this up. The hatch will actually open without touching this table, but from an operational perspective, it's just easier. And boom, boom. Okay. And then you go down this teak ladder just here, and we actually have the base for the gyro on the center line just in here. We have the 2 water tanks on either side, access to the steering gear and the stern thruster. The hydraulics for the platform are all back here, and an immense amount of storage. This particular owner has got a water maker as well. Okay, so the sea trial's coming up next, guys, so keep watching, and that link will pop up at the end of this if you are interested in coming for a drive. We'd love to have you along. So just a little wrap up on the Alaska 47 Sedan. Who is best suited? What demographic do I imagine seeing the most value out of owning a boat like this? I definitely think an owner-operator. I think it could be someone who's coming up through the range, but also someone who's had a bigger boat and coming back down again. What do I mean by that? People who perhaps know how much work it is to run a big boat, and they just want something a bit no nonsense plenty of capability, plenty of entertaining space, overnight space, but simple for them to operate and run. I also see a boat like this. If you are an active traveller, like I know so many of you are, and you disappear for months on end, and you just want a boat that you can put at the back of your house or at the marina, close it up, and pretty much forget about it for 3 months and know that it's still going to be there, maybe a little bit dirtier when you come home, but nothing's going to be wrong with it. This is a style of boat that you could definitely do that with. You can just close this cockpit up. It's all just fiberglass and stainless forward. It's a shaft drive boat. It's pretty no nonsense. So you can definitely achieve that with something like this. In terms of your experience levels, look, I'm going to say, yes, it'd be great if you had some experience before you step into something like this. Not essential though. Not essential. It's quite a predictable boat to drive. She tracks at a straight line. She doesn't have any scary tendencies. So if you are coming from maybe a little small day boat or a tinny or who knows what, and you haven't got any big boat experience, I wouldn't actually be too worried about stepping into an Alaska, because with training and with guidance, you're going to have a great time with this. It's not an issue. Definitely people thinking about liveaboard or extended periods on board their boat. If that's part of your future boat life, this will be great, hands down. Just look how stable we are. We are still exposed to some boat wash and wind around these wrecks. This thing's just sitting rock solid and comfortable. Yeah, this would be a great liveaboard without a doubt for many, many reasons. What else did I note down here? Definitely people who are wanting to have the ability to go offshore. Absolutely, this is a boat for you. Some feedback on the design. I really like all the weather protection you have on this boat. Whether it's leaving the helm on port and starboard and walking down with the big protection of this roof. I mean, we're in Australia, we don't need that much sun, so I love having the roof extending all the way out back here. And I also love the accessibility. So whether you're getting on here, any of the side doors and making your way up to the helm, moving forward or down into the accommodation, it's no more than 3 steps. So I think the protection and the accessibility that this boat gives to many people, you don't need to be an older person. You could be any age. You're really going to see value in a style like this. And I suspect if I think you are who I think you are, you probably know a thing or two about boats, and that's why you see the value. And definitely sailors. If you are stepping out of a sailing yacht and you are thinking you want to put your toe in the water for your first motorboat, this is a sensible choice for you. A lot of the features are going to be familiar to you. At the slower speeds, the fuel burn is going to be familiar to you. So there's many aspects of an Alaska that for someone who's had a lifetime of sailboats, if you jump into this thing, you're going to be quite comfortable. So things for you to consider. Look, to be fair, I doubt this is going to be you, but if you haven't had any experience with a shaft drive, if you've come from, say, outboard engines or complex drive systems, just make sure you get some training on a shaft. It's actually easier. There's heaps of torque with these propellers, but any new drive system is a new drive system, so just make sure you train yourself up to it. That's it, really. It's pretty much no nonsense. If you want to get a feel for the performance, and if you want to get a feel for what other boats you might want to put up there and compare with this boat, I'll touch on that in the next video. So click on the link coming up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, legends. See ya.